Okay, let's unpack this. We're diving deep today into AMCon Distributing Companies, recent Q3 2025 earnings, and their strategic update.
Right. And this isn't just, a dry look at the numbers.
Exactly. It's really about understanding how a major player in a pretty foundational industry, think convenience stores, how they're navigating some complex challenges, and crucially, how they're planning for growth.
Yeah. And the source material here is their official earnings report. It gives us a direct look, which is great.
It really does. So our mission for you listening is to pull out the most important nuggets here, give you a shortcut to getting up to speed on this sector.
That makes sense.
So diving right into those headline figures then. For their third fiscal quarter ending June 30th, 2025, AMCon reported fully diluted earnings per share of $2.13 and a net income available to common shareholders of $1.3 million. So what do these numbers really tell us in context?
Well, it's interesting. That $1.3 million net income, it might sound maybe a bit modest for a company this size, but given the challenging environment they mentioned later, it actually signals, I think, a fair bit of stability. Operational efficiency, really, enough to keep their strategic plans moving.
Okay.
But what's really fascinating here is the scale behind those numbers.
Yeah.
AMCon has, kind of quietly, become the third largest convenience distributor in the U.S.
Wow, third largest.
Measured by territory covered, yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty significant.
That is huge. How many states are we talking about? I mean, how do they manage that kind of footprint?
It's quite the network. They're serving 34 states.
34.
Yep. From 14 distribution centers spread across places like Colorado, Idaho, Illinois, Indiana, Minnesota, Missouri, Nebraska, the Dakotas, Tennessee, West Virginia. It's a massive logistical operation.
That's incredible. And the products?
Oh, everything. Beverages, candy, tobacco, groceries, food service, frozen, refrigerated, automotive supplies, health, and beauty. Basically, if you see it in a C-store, AMCon probably had a hand in getting it there.
Right.
And they also have their Healthy Edge retail group. That's 15 health and natural product stores, mostly Midwest and Florida. Another layer.
So that massive reach makes their strategy, their thinking, even more important. Christopher Atayan, the chairman and CEO, he talked a lot about integration, integrating recent acquisitions, new facilities. And this system integration work across the whole organization, what kind of work is that, and why is it so important right now?
Well, that's where you see the kind of the long-term play, right? Atayan says this integration is all about enabling their, and he calls it, industry-leading suite of programs and services.
Right.
For a company growing this fast, especially through buying other companies, integration isn't just about, merging spreadsheets. It's making sure all the pieces work together smoothly.
Right. Maintaining that service level.
Exactly. Maintaining what they state is their core philosophy. A superior level of customer service, a customer-centric approach. He even mentioned this helps them keep goods flowing reliably, even when the weather's bad.
So it's about being smart, not just big.
Precisely. It's operational excellence, which in a low-margin business like distribution is absolutely critical.
And it sounds like that customer-centric idea, it's not just talk.
No, I don't think so. It seems core to their value proposition. Atayan actually mentioned customer enthusiasm for their specific programs like integrated advertising, design, print, even electronic displays.
Ah, so tangible tools for the stores.
Yeah, exactly. These aren't just little perks. They're explicitly designed to give their customers, remember, many are independent owners, a competitive edge.
That makes sense.
And that ties directly into their acquisition strategy. The CEO is actively looking for more distributors and their families who want to align with that same customer-focused approach. It's about finding the right fit, not just growing bigger.
So it's strategic growth, finding partners who buy into their way of doing things.
That's the idea. It connects the acquisitions back to that core philosophy.
Which becomes even more vital when you hear about the market itself. Andrew Plummer, the president and COO, he didn't really pull any punches, did he?
No, he didn't. He described a challenging operating environment in convenience retailing.
Yes, specifically pointing to lagging consumer behavior and discretionary spending.
Yeah.
People watching their wallets.
Exactly. And he also dug into the why, the cumulative impact of inflation over multiple years. It's hit their cost structures hard.
How so?
Well, higher operating expenses pretty much everywhere. Product costs, obviously, but also labor, employee benefits, equipment, insurance. It all adds up.
Right.
And the direct result, he called it Additional consolidation across our entire industry. Smaller players maybe getting squeezed out or bought up.
Which really does raise that question. How do companies survive, let alone thrive and grow in that kind of climate?
Yeah, it's tough.
And it seems like Amazon's big answer, or a big part of it, is food service. They're really leaning into that.
They are. They explicitly called it a strategic focus. They're committed to these proprietary food service programs and helping stores with merchandising. It's positioned as a value-added approach.
Value-added how, though? What's the big idea there?
Well, the ambition behind it is pretty significant. They're building the capability to offer turnkey solutions.
Turnkey?
Meaning
Meaning they can basically set up their retail partners again, think independent stores, to compete head-on with the quick-service restaurant industry.
oh, okay, compete with, like, McDonald's, Subway.
That seems to be the goal. It's a
Yeah.
really bold move for a distributor. They're essentially trying to empower their customers to fight back against the big QSR chains.
That's a major shift from just supplying products to being a strategic partner like that.
It really is. It helps their customers survive and compete, which, ultimately helps AmCon too. It strengthens their whole ecosystem.
Fascinating. Okay, let's shift quickly to the financial management side. Charles Schmetterer, the CFO. Right. He talked about that relentless daily focus on managing the balance sheet, maximizing liquidity. Standard but crucial CFO talk.
He noted shareholders' equity was $113.2 million at the end of June. And, importantly, they're actively evaluating operational synergies from the recent acquisitions, looking for those efficiencies.
Absolutely. And if you look at the segment performance, it kind of tells the story. The main wholesale distribution part brought in revenues of $728.3 million.
Okay, big number.
Yeah, with operating income of $7.3 million for the quarter. The smaller retail health food segment, Healthy Edge, also chipped in $11.3 million in revenue, $0.1 million operating income.
So profitable across the board, even if the retail part is small.
Correct. So putting it all together, what does this mean for you, the listener? You can really see this multifaceted strategy playing out.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're trying to grow smart through M&A, innovate on service, add value like crazy for their customers, especially with food service, all while navigating a really tough market. They're not just sitting back.
Right. They're being proactive.
Very proactive.
So just to recap then, we've looked at AMM Han's strategic growth acquisitions, yes, but focused on integration and philosophy. We've seen their real emphasis on customer service and these value-added programs like marketing tools and especially food service. And we've seen how they're tackling a challenging inflationary market head-on. It really paints a picture of a dynamic approach in, a really essential industry, one that touches almost all of us.
Definitely. And maybe one final thought to leave you with. If we step back and connect this to the bigger picture,
Yeah.
consider AmCon's strategy, helping their retail partners fight the QSR giants through food service. Could this be like a hint of a larger trend? How traditional retail, especially small independent stores, might evolve?
Interesting point.
What does it say about the future of your local convenience store? And the role these massive distributors play, not just supplying, but enabling them to compete.
Right. Could this model, the blend of M&A, customer empowerment, value-add services, could that work elsewhere? In other sectors facing similar pressures, like consolidation and changing consumer habits?
Exactly. Something to think about, for sure. How these behind-the-scenes players are shaping the future of the businesses we interact with every day.